Hi, my name is Nathan Peterson, and today I wanted to give you an example of how to use exposure and response prevention. As you can see here, I am standing next to a bridge. I thought it would be helpful to show you guys that exposures and OCD is not only about washing hands and organizing things, that instead it can actually be so much more. I find that many individuals that I work with have very intrusive thoughts that are sometimes completely random. That they might be enjoying the time out here with their family and see a bridge, and their brain might say, hey, you know what, if you cross that bridge, something bad might happen. And sometimes they don't know what that bad thing might be. They just know that they had that intrusive thought. And so the options are find another way around, don't cross the bridge, avoid. These are all the compulsions that they might do. If we were using exposure and response prevention, what it might look like is, hey, maybe we don't even need to cross the whole bridge just yet, but we could. We might sit there at the bridge and say, I might stand there on the bridge and say, hey, you know what, something bad may or may not happen. I'm not going to come up with a conclusion about it. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. I'm not going to say it is going to happen. I could. I'm more actually just looking at maybe, maybe not. And my goal is to actually feel uncomfortable. I want to feel anxiety on purpose and allow that anxious feeling to go down without trying to figure it out. I'm not trying to convince myself that it's going to be all right. Instead, how an exposure might be is I might just be standing next to this bridge and possibly touching it and saying, yep, something bad may or may not happen. We'll see. I guess I'll never know for sure. Something bad may not happen. And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to pay attention to my distress or anxiety level. And I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to sit here until that feeling has been reduced to a number or a level where I can actually handle it a little bit better. Some people go to halfway point. Some people just go until they're not really feeling much distress. And once that is good, you can say, hey, can I go any further with this? Maybe I can actually cross the bridge at this point. Each person is so different in the way that they might do these exposures, but that's a simple way to kind of explain exposure and response prevention. You think about, do some type of action. Allow yourself to sit there with that uncomfortableness without trying to fix it. Make sure you're not doing any compulsions during these moments. Don't fix it. Don't try to reason with yourself how nothing bad is ever going to happen. You're not trying to figure any of this out. Instead, you're actually just saying, I'm going to live uncertain, not going to figure this out, and just let it be. And yes, it's uncomfortable. And yes, it sounds weird sometimes, and it doesn't sound natural and normal to do. But that's the nature of exposure and response prevention. That's why I love this treatment so much, because it is different. And when people use it, we're actually teaching our brains that maybe we're not really in danger. Our brains say we're in danger, but maybe we're not. And that's the good part about exposure and response prevention, is that you are essentially changing this alarm system in your head that says you are, to say, you know what, I'm going to test my theory out and find out that most of the time the bad things might not actually happen. But we're always willing to take that risk. So thank you very much.